Hi, my name is Leah Day, and welcome to this video for the free Motion Quilting Project. Today we're learning a design called Jagged Flames, which is a variation of a design I stitched almost 4.5 years ago. It's a lot of straight lines and sharp angles, and this is going to be a perfect design to stitch in the sashing of any quilt. So let's get started. To quilt this design, I'm going to be working in this narrow section. This is a 2-inch little section, and it's a good place to practice this design because we're going to be working from edge to edge here. And basically what we do to get started is simply stitch a zigzaggy line. I'm going to come all the way down and hit that opposite edge. So if this was like your sashing of a quilt, then you would just simply be running from one edge to the other. Now I'm going to zigzag my way back up again. Just like that. Okay, so now I have kind of this V-shaped, jagged space, and I'm going to fill this in with internal echoes. What that means is I'm going to travel stitch inside, and now I'm going to echo it. I'm going to stitch a set distance away from that first set of lines. And I'm aiming to be about 1/8 of an inch away from those lines. Now, if you're not, if it kind of flexes, if it kind of goes closer and further away, well, that's normal. It's totally normal to have that issue, but you're aiming to be a consistent distance away from those lines. So that way it looks something like this. It's just lots of lines echoing out. Think of like the ripples whenever you throw a pebble in a pond. You want something like that effect. Now, when I first started quilting, I was not able to stitch like this. It takes time and practice, and really more than anything else, visually estimating your space, and of course also control over the square that you're working on in order to be able to move it and keep control over it. That's really the hardest thing. It's kind of getting your hands to do what you want them to do. But you can see I'm just simply running lines echoing into this area over and over again. This area right here is going to change with every single pass, because you can see as I move from this point, the point kind of changes direction. It changes where it's at. That's totally normal, and this is going to look very boxy and blocky. You want to keep all the lines very straight and all the angles sharp. The design that this is based off of is called Jagged Flames, and it's exactly the same design, exactly how I'm stitching this out, only it's all soft curves. It's all soft curvy lines coming to a point at the end. And that was actually the second or third design that I stitched for the free Motion Quilting Project. So it's kind of a long time ago. It's 4.5 years ago since that very, very first few designs were posted. So this has been a long time coming, but I looked at it the other day and thought, well, I can take that same design and stitch it with straight lines and sharp angles and come up with something entirely new. So to move on with this design, you basically continue stitching a zigzaggy line back and forth, kind of making these V shapes, and then you're going to work inside of it and fill it. This little area right here I'm going to fill with the same thing, just more echoes back and forth until I reach this corner. So I'm going to fill this in entirely, and then I'll show you a picture of what it looks when I'm done with it. So that's it for Jagged Flames. I really hope that you've enjoyed learning how to quilt this design, and it's really going to work the best in narrow areas like sashing, or you could even expand it and put it in the border of a quilt. Sashing is one of those areas I especially see, and this is kind of a gripe from me today. I really get annoyed when I see sashing left empty. It bothers me, especially if you've bothered to, applique some gorgeous quilt blocks and you bother to quilt them really nicely, and then the area around them, the area between them, is left empty and blank. Well, it just kind of feels, I don't know, it feels unbalanced to me. So the next time you're working on a quilt and you have sashing in between the blocks and you're wondering what to do with it, definitely think of using either this design, Jagged Flames, or Gentle Flames. These are two excellent designs, and they're fairly easy to fit into these areas. If you want to do anything, if you need to plan it out, mark the starting lines. Mark that little triangle shape going down your sashing, and that'll help you plan it out and space it into the area. And then all you have to do is stitch on the line and then do the internal echoes in order to fill it. It'll be very, very easy. And of course you can expand it and make the design bigger so it works on your quilt without making everything dense. So keep all of that in mind and definitely consider using these designs. My name is Leah Day, and this has been a video for the Free Motion Quilting Project. Find hundreds of designs, much like this one, but many more beautiful textures at freemotionproject.com. Also check out leahday.com, where you'll find a quilt shop dedicated to carrying all the tools and supplies for free motion quilting on your home sewing machine. Check it out, and we appreciate your support. Until next time, let's go quilt.